Hey guys, and welcome to the Bayern View. Hope you guys are all doing well. This is going to be a fan cam. It was my fault why this is late. I went to bed so early last night. I was actually supposed to ask Beets and YouTube if they wanted to do those, if they were available to do it last night. But yeah, I was snoring by I don't know what time. So hopefully you guys are all doing well. Like I said, smash the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. As you can see, the main man Beets is in the building. He's got his Thomas Muller shirt on. He's going to do his fan cam. So before I do get into that, obviously I'm wearing the new, I was about to say away kit, third kit. This video will be out tomorrow for you guys. Tomorrow at about 5 p.m. UK time, that's what I'm going to put it out. I've already done the video. I spoke too much. Now, Beets, the floor is yours. Sorry, brother.
No worries. No worries. Thanks for having me on as always. There's a lot to talk about from yesterday's game. It was an incredible start, right, with the Sané goal and Kane assist. What was it, like 3 or 4 minutes in? It's maybe a little worrisome just because they did sit on that 1-0 lead for a long time. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, like Fulkrug. If he wasn't, that was close to being an onside goal or like a goal, instant reaction. So definitely maybe some worrisome, growing pains, who knows? But obviously towards the end of the game, like the Kane scored, Sané scored his second from a beautiful pass from, I know it was Muller, but before who was the pass to Muller? I forget even who made that pass, but it's a good pass. And then finally Tell scored a banger. Might have been the best goal of the game. I don't know.
I agree.
So I think, overall, obviously very happy with the results, very happy with the performance, because I do think pretty much everyone on the pitch had a pretty solid game. I think that Kane, as soon as Kane gets more like acclimated to the Bundesliga, acclimated to the Bayern squad in general. The guy's not acclimated yet, and he has a goal and an assist in his first start. So that's going to be scary for everyone, both in Germany and in Europe. But I think it's just going to elevate the team so much more. I don't want to sound, it might be a little premature, but I think his game is just so much more like expansive. There's so much more to it than maybe like Lewandowski's, which is crazy to say because he was unreal. But he just brings more to the table, I think. So I think it's going to be great to see this season. I think, I'm just super excited. I'm super excited to see Kane. I'm super excited to see how the wingers are hopefully going to elevate their game and actually have someone to cross to. One thing that people know me. People say I have an agenda or whatever, but I'm going to be maybe not the first guy, because there's been people who've been on and said other stuff, but Goretzka had a fantastic game, in my opinion. That's from me. That's from coming from. And I say that I think he even had a better game than Kimmich. I think Kimmich's game was not great, and for Kimmich standards, it was horrible. For in general, anyone is so, but for Kimmich standards, not a good game.
It was terrible from Kimmich.
But Goretzka, he looked calm, he looked poised, he looked like last season, and maybe even ever since Thiago left, right? So the last couple of years, he kind of, to me, he looks almost kind of selfish on the pitch, in the sense of that he wants to score a goal and then doesn't track back, or is kind of lazy and almost aimless. But this game, or yesterday's game in particular, he looked very calculated. He looked like he was just controlled. He wasn't flailing around and doing stuff. He was very precise in what he was doing, and it was a fantastic game from him, I have to say. I don't think he was maybe the man of the match, but he had a very good game. I'm very happy to see that. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I'm pissed that he had a good game. No. I just hope that it continues. I guess Amanda will come in and say I don't think it will. That's just me. But hey, if he proves me wrong, I'll happily stand corrected. So I just wanted to point out that I think Goretzka had a really good game.
On your Kane point, though, On your
Yeah.
Kane point, sorry.
No.
I do agree with you. I actually think he's close to Lewandowski. Yeah, obviously, he's not nowhere near what Lewandowski's done for Bayern yet. But what I mean by that is just like, if you were to, before Jose Mourinho went into Spurs, if you were to say Kane, Lewandowski, they're kind of the same player. But now, after Jose went in there and made Kane more of a passer as well, I think, I'm not going to say he's better than Lewandowski. That would be stupid, because we don't know if he's even going to live up to what Lewandowski's done. But I think he's more helpful for the team at this minute because he can obviously, pass as well as obviously Lewandowski could pass. But I mean, like, that's not a striker pass. That pass to Sané was like that's like a chip over the top type pass. So sort of shit you see De Bruyne doing.
Right.
But yeah, no, carry on.
No, I was just gonna say that I think Kane. There was a lot of games where Lewandowski, he just didn't get the service, and he's the kind of guy that needs service, right? And I just always kind of think back to that montage that you put on that might have been controversial at the time because everyone was like, "Is this going to be a done deal or what?" But was it Carragher? Was it Jamie Carragher who was saying that Kane cannot score a goal and still have a good game? And obviously he scored a goal and he had an assist to kind of prove that point. But you can tell by his first game, start as a Bayern player that's going to be so true. I mean, he moves around, he like tracks back. He is obviously basically an elite passer. And then, he's like an incredible goal threat too. So I don't know. It just gets me very, very excited. I can't wait to see Champions League, especially. That'll be crazy. I have high hopes, I think, this season. I do.
It's going to be very big for Kane in the Champions League, though, because he's known to not show up in the Champions League. Like, of course, he scored goals in the Champions League for Spurs, but like not the big games. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that goes. Who would your man of the match be?
Oh man. See, I kind of right when I finished the game, I was watching on replay, so I was very late. But kind of initially I was like, oh, it's Harry Kane. But I kind of think now I think he's probably number 2. But I would honestly say I would say probably Davies. I think Davies had a really good game. 2 assists. That great assist to Kane. I mean, honestly, you could maybe throw in a couple names. You could throw in Kane, you could throw in Davies, maybe even Sané with his 2 goals. But I think for me, like maybe fanboy like craziness Kane, if I'll say that. But then as like maybe more logical, I would say maybe Davies for me.
Yeah. No, 100%. I have to agree, and it's funny because Bob said the exact same thing. In his, he said that it would be Davies. For some reason, I thought you were going to go with Sané.
No, I mean
Davies
did
have a
maybe
good game.
mentioned, but
yeah, of course.
Yeah. No, I mean Sané to me, like, and this might just kind of be going off of kind of piggybacking off of what we've always been saying about him in a Bayern shirt is that I'm happy he scored 2 goals, but for me, he does this every year where he starts off the season, first half of the season, he's great. If he can do this in the second half of the season when these big games, that'll be great. That'll be insane. But I'm not going to hold my breath for that for now. Great start for him. I do think if we're continuing on Sané, I think his attitude looks a lot better. He looks happy. He does track back. I know that was like a very big thing when he first came to Bayern that he didn't do that, and he kind of looked pissed off maybe. I think I think he might, and this might be total speculation, I don't know, but I think he might be happier under Tuchel. I don't know if that's true or not, but I also think maybe Mané leaving probably helped out a little. I think that whole situation was probably awkward for everyone. Probably mostly Sané. So I mean, hey, if he can keep that up, I'm not saying he has to score 2 goals every single game, but if he can keep up that intensity, keep that intensity. I would like to see him on the left though, as opposed to the right, because I think he does try to cut in too much, and it's like he's already wearing Robin's number, which I don't know how I feel about that. don't try to cut in on the right. I mean, like maybe every once in a while, but that's all he seems to try to do. So I think he should be playing on the left. I guess that's a critique more of the manager than Sané himself. But either way, I mean, I was happy with pretty much the whole team's performance. Maybe Kimmich there's a little bit left, to be desired with Kimmich, but overall 4-0, great win. Maybe more so on paper. You would think you see 4-0 and it's like they dominated. Well, they kind of did, but they honestly probably should have had more goals. And they all, 3 of these goals came towards later in the game. But great start to the Bundesliga. I'm very excited.
Yeah, man. No. Great points, bro. As always. I knew Goretzka thing was going to come. I just knew it was going to come. But yeah, man. Thank you for coming on as always, mate. We'll get you back on when we can. And if you guys have enjoyed, smash the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. And until then, we'll see you on the next one. Mia Samia. Peace out, people.